Welcome, Capstone students, and congratulations. My name is Dr. Cassandra Evans. I will be guiding you through your final course to get you over that hurdle to achieve your master's degree. The student in this slide, this is a man who has a mortarboard hat on, a tassel, and a graduation gown. You will be wearing one of those soon, in the next 15 to 16 weeks after you finish this course. I want to tell you a little bit about me, and then I'll tell you more specifically about the course. First of all, know that I'm here Monday nights for you. If you need anything, you can drop in. You don't need an appointment. Monday nights on Zoom. Find that in my contact card and also on your syllabus. Additionally, you can make appointments if those times don't work. I do require everyone in Capstone to meet with me once officially so that we can talk about what your project will look like. That's in the very first 2 weeks. We'll talk more about that in a moment. As far as my background, I have several degrees from San Diego State University. I'm from California and I'm back in California now. But I have a bachelor's in journalism. I have a master's in rehabilitation counseling, specifically VOC rehab, career counseling for people with disabilities, as well as a master's in philosophy, where I emphasized feminist ethics, bioethics, environmental ethics. And then I went to Stony Brook in New York on Long Island to do my doctorate in disability studies. There, I specialized in deinstitutionalization, mental health, and deinstitutionalization, which I'll talk more about later. I got my first tenure track job with Disability Studies Department at CUNY's SPS, where you are now. It's been a fantastic move, but I also teach in California as well. So I live online in both coasts, and we operate on Eastern time, though. Do not forget that. My recent research has been interested in what happens to people when they are deinstitutionalized. More specifically, I found myself working on Long Island and thinking about all of the very large state asylums in New York that were on Long Island. And I was asking, what happens when people are deinstitutionalized? So I interviewed a lot of people who had lived in one of these 4 very large institutions. And I think a lot about mental health. I think a lot about trauma. I think a lot about how sometimes psychiatric care can also exacerbate or even create a disability for people. So you can ask me more about that later. In terms of what you're doing, you're going to choose either a research project where you write something new. It can be related to other things that you've been interested in or looked at throughout your degree, but your pages, your new work will be fresh and original. Or you can do the e-portfolio. Those of you who are doing the e-portfolio, there's a template. We'll talk about that too. Either way, whether research project or e-portfolio, you have specific check-in times with me. Your first 2 weeks, you'll do that live on Zoom or whatever platform is best for you. And then every other week, you will have what I call deliverables, work product for the e-portfolio or the research project. In some cases, some people have already had an internship supervised that is approved with the department. You may not choose that right now if you have not already had it pre-approved. So you know who you are if you've had that pre-approved, and I will work with you. You'll still have deliverables, but we'll talk about other criteria for your grading. So those are pretty much everybody will do either research project or e-portfolio. And some of the tips for success, as I said, both have graded material. So you do get points for checking in with me and turning in work all along the way. You will check in with me live in the beginning, and then later you will send me emails. I will read your work continuously as it comes in. All of these deadlines should be taken seriously. This is not an independent study course. The way that people get into trouble with Capstone is thinking I'll do it when I want to. That's not how I run my Capstone, and most other faculty in the department do not run it that way either. Okay? We want to get you across the finish line. So that means you have to work at a steady clip. Reach out to me ahead of time. Do not wait. Do not wait until you are sinking or underwater. Please be in touch with me if you're having any issues. Okay. So the key is stay on top of your deadlines and keep working. None of your work has to be perfect the first draft, but you do need to keep drafting, whether it's e-portfolio or research. Some of you are newer to the Brightspace learning platform. There is help, dedicated helpline 24/7, and then live helpline and emails that you can access. Please access those. I am by no means an expert in Brightspace. I'm still learning, and I'm also sometimes sleeping. So you need to make sure that you call that dedicated support line if you get into trouble. It's pretty easy. I like it. I like Brightspace. It's intuitive, and just so you can see where we are. If you have not looked at it before, or you don't know what our class looks like, it's going to be Capstone. You're going to click on that and make sure you pay attention to what my student hours are, what my email is, and my text if you need me right away. Again, I want you to read your syllabus and you'll find these things. The first week we're doing intros. What project do you think you're going to do? Who are you? What has been your main focus in your master's? And then really pay attention to these weekly deadlines. We either have you checking in with me or you sending me work. We really don't have that many discussions the first week, and then week 11, a peer review. And I'll talk more about that later. Assignments must be when you put something in Brightspace for your assignment, it must be a URL, so a website link to your ePortfolio or your Google Doc where you're writing. I will give you feedback as soon as possible. If you turn things in late, there will be a penalty, and your feedback will be late as well. So get things in on time, and I'll get them back to you as soon as possible. Peer reviews are in week 11. Those of you doing the ePortfolio will look at 2 other classmates' ePortfolios, and you'll give some review, some feedback. Finally, we have a class meeting all together that's live. That's going to be toward week 10 or 11. And I do that so that you all can showcase your work and just say hello to your student colleagues and tell people what you've done. It's not at all formal. It's completely informal. If for some reason you can't make that meeting, I will have you record something that just says, this is what I did for my project. This is how it's going to serve me when I graduate. These are my plans. Most people like meeting. That last meeting, it's fun because we're all right there at the deadline. You're almost graduating and you get to see your colleagues. Last thing I want to say, take care of your mental health and wellness. This picture shows my dog Hops. He is a biscuit-colored Labrador out in the Mojave Desert, specifically right near Joshua Tree. I look at him, I touch him, I think about him when I am at all feeling anxiety or maybe activated. You have your own coping mechanisms, please use them. But think about not allowing yourself to get to the point, at least in my class, where you're stressed out. Everything is in very doable chunks. The most stressed out that people get, I find, or agitated, activated, is when they're not doing their work, okay? So make sure you're doing a little bit of work at a steady clip. And whatever you need, think about that touchstone. For me, it's this guy. you might have another thing, but do whatever you need to do. You're right there, and we want you to stay healthy and well all along the way. Okay, having said that, I know it might be daunting for some people to think about what they're going to choose, but I do require you to choose it right now in the first week or two. Are you doing an e-portfolio? Have you already coordinated an internship? Or are you doing a research project? And what do you want that to look like? Think about what you love. If you really like showcasing work you've done, do the e-portfolio. If you like being creative, do the e-portfolio. If you like templates, do the e-portfolio. If you want to write more and you want to go on and publish or research or maybe apply for a doctoral degree, choose research project and think about what topic have you been most passionate about. And then I will talk you through how that might look, okay? E-portfolio people, please look at samples of e-portfolios so that you have an idea of what the e-portfolio is all about. Those of you who are doing research projects, maybe you already did a project on, say, I don't know, in my case, institutionalization, and you looked at one specific aspect of institutionalization, like, or deinstitutionalization, like peer support for mental health. You can build on that, but your pages do need to be 100% brand new and fresh, okay? We'll talk more. You're going to hear a lot from me about the upcoming meetings I'm going to try to schedule. Please, please reach out. Reach out and let me help you. I'm your guide. Wonderful to have you here. Again, congratulations for making it this far. Have a great semester.